Welcome back to Normal Baseball. We are heading into a great weekend of baseball. Shohei Ohtani is taking over the league as always. The Athletics' move to Vegas is official, but they might not be the worst team in baseball. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Normal Baseball. I'm Alex Normal Dog. That's Lewis. And today, it is June 16th. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'd like, as a birthday present, everyone watching, listening, subscribe, comment, like, and share. Thank you. Thank you.
Great idea.
Let's talk about the best player in baseball.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about Shohei Ohtani. Can we?
Okay.
All right. Well, Shohei Ohtani has been going off, not just as of recently, but this entire season. Shohei Ohtani leads... is top 3 in a lot of major categories in baseball right now. Pitching-wise and hitting-wise. He is a monster among men. He is Shohei Ohtani. And he's on an Angels team that is looking to make the playoffs, looking to sneak into the playoffs. He's been a big part of the team, and it's repeating old stuff because he is doing things for the past 2 years, 3 years, really since 2021 is when he really started to ramp it up that we have never seen before, and it's incredible to watch.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What do we got on Shohei Ohtani, Lewis?
It's one of a kind. I mean, the dude, when you look at his hitting stats, just his hitting stats, right, you see that so far this season he has a 300 batting average, he has 22 homers, he leads the entire MLB in OPS plus at 170. He is stealing bases at, I think, a faster rate than he has been the last couple of seasons. We're seeing him hit homers. We're seeing him now hit for a little bit more average with the 301 batting average. It's just another Shohei season. And that's just on the offensive side. If you just go and look at his pitching right now, 3.29 ERA. He's 6-2 on the season through 82 innings pitched with 105 strikeouts. It's ridiculous. This guy is one of a kind. He's beyond special. The only issue so far that I've noticed this season is his pitch control. He actually has a lot more hit by pitches and a lot more wild pitches at this point in the season than most star pitchers, which I think is a little strange. But if Shohei Ohtani's biggest problem is that every once in a while, every once an outing, he lets a ball get a little bit away from him. I think that's the best issue to have.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good he is, and there's no other way to put it other than I think that this is the runaway MVP.
Wow, bold. I kind of love it. It seems like it's bound to happen already just because of what he's been doing. He is tied for the league lead in home runs after hitting his 22nd home run last night. He leads the league in OPS. Like you said, he's batting .300. He's stealing bases at a faster clip. He has 10 stolen bases right now. Last year, he had 11 in 157 games. So, yeah, he's using his speed to his advantage, finally. And it's just crazy to see. If you're not watching Shohei Ohtani and appreciating it every single time you watch, you're doing something wrong, because this is a masterclass.
Oh,
masterclass. Sure. I think he might come top 3 in MVP and Cy Young this year, because I don't know if he's going to win the Cy Young, but I think he will probably come in top 3. Because like you said, he's got a 3.29 ERA and 82 innings pitched. He's got over 100 strikeouts. He's close to the league lead. Just death-defying stuff, dare I say.
And it is so interesting to me that he's doing all of this in a walk year, which we just saw last year with Aaron Judge. He was obviously a more offensive-heavy player where he put up 62 homers and, yes, played great defense in right field and center field for a lot of last season with the New York Yankees. But saying that, yes, Shohei Ohtani is leading the league in homers while also having under a 3.5 ERA with plenty more time to play and improve upon that is crazy. It's mind-blowing, and we are getting ready to see the best player in baseball no doubt about it, enter into a free agent market where a lot of these teams have way too much money. More money than what they know what to do with it.
True.
So we are going to see something amazing this offseason, but don't want to skip ahead too far because so far this season has been great. And the Angels have been one of the surprising teams about it, honestly. When you go and look at their record as of right now, they're 39-32. They're hanging around. They're only a game back of the Houston Astros in the AL West. And with how they just played against the Rangers, could we say that they could maybe close that gap? I believe right now they're 4.5 games back. Could we see them close the gap a little bit, especially with the way that they just played?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. They're 4.5 games back at first place, but they're only 1 game back of the wild card, and they're 8-2 in their last 10. And they just played really, really well against the Texas Rangers. They won 3 of 4 in a series against the Rangers. So that always helps out. They're going to Kansas City next, so I think that's another couple easy wins. So I'd honestly love to see them catch up, because for the first time ever, it feels like, the Angels could possibly make the playoffs. I know it feels like that every year, but this year especially, it's starting to feel more and more like it, because usually by this time they're starting to fizzle out. They're doing quite the opposite. They are heating up as of late, which you love to see.
Which, going into more wider view about it, the All-Star break is approaching rapidly. We're just about a month away from it, a little bit less even. And to think that we're going to see, coming out of the All-Star break, we're going to see the possibility that this team can be competing is something that is beyond exciting, something that I am looking forward to, and I hope that we see it continue. I hope that we see the Angels continue to thrive and succeed as well as they have been so far this season.
Fair. So, we talked about the Angels' playoff chances multiple times.
I found this on the web.
Wow, all right.
She found that on the web.
We talked about the Angels' playoff chances, I feel like, 4 times in the last week. For the Angels to make the playoffs, does Mike Trout have to start playing like Mike Trout? Or do you think Shohei Ohtani, playing on the level that he is picking up for Mike Trout's almost lackluster season so far? Mike Trout only batting .248. He's got 14 homers, but only 1 steal. He's just not doing Mike Trout things so far this season. And I'll let you say what you think first.
So I think that it is okay right now for Mike Trout to be sort of in this backseat position. Yes, he is supposed to be and has been time and time again the Angels MVP. But since Shohei won that first MVP in 2021, I think it's been a no-doubt question that Mike Trout is sort of playing second fiddle to Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, yeah.
In the sense that Mike Trout simply does not pitch. He does not have...
Not even talking about pitching.
Yeah, he does not have the same exact, bat that he used to have when he was going for all those MVPs, coming in third, second, fourth place in those MVP voting.
But it's not...
He doesn't have all of that anymore, but that's okay. Because Shohei's picking up for him.
I still think he has it.
Oh, well, no, he has it, but he's not showing it right now.
Yeah, only because you're saying he doesn't have it anymore as if, he's done.
No.
I think he's just in he hasn't heated up yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's fair to say that he doesn't have it anymore.
He'll somehow figure out a way to hit 40 homers.
I very much disagree with the fact that he doesn't have it anymore. He more than has it.
Oh, no. Never said that he does not have it anymore.
That's what you said. You said he doesn't have that same bat anymore.
He
still has it. It just hasn't activated.
Okay.
I think that yes, Shohei Ohtani is picking up for it a little bit, but I think if the Angels want to make the playoffs and, dare I say, try to make any sort of run, I think Mike Trout needs to pick it up. And I think Mike Trout needs to be the hitter that we know he can be. Because the defense is always going to be there. He plays phenomenal defense. We know that. The bat needs to step it up in order for Mike Trout to play well.
Yes.
Or not necessarily play well. In order for Mike Trout to be the difference maker on this team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
He needs to be with Shohei Ohtani as that 1 and 2, that powerhouse 1 and 2. Because think of how many years we've been saying, oh yeah, they have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, and they still can't make the playoffs. So the 1 year Mike Trout has a down year, they're going to push for the playoffs the most. So I think Mike Trout needs to pick it up, and they'll actually have the biggest chance to make the playoffs, in my opinion. But round of applause to Shohei Ohtani for doing what he's doing so far. Hopefully he keeps it up. That would be awesome. He leads the voting in All-Star voting, which makes sense, as he should. You also picked him in your Homer draft. So do you want to head over to the Homer draft?
Oh, yes, of course.
Our weekly ding-dongs, our Homer draft. So heading into last week, Lewis had 11 points, and I had 21 points. Lewis picked Shohei Ohtani and Christian Yelich. I picked Josh Lowe and Juan Soto. Lewis, tell us about your picks.
I had Shohei Ohtani in my American League, and he went off for 6 home runs. Count them, 6. Absolutely mashed against the Rangers. It was crazy. He had 2 home runs in 1 game. All in all, a great week for me when you just look at Shohei. And then Christian Yelich, who hit 2 homers himself, puts me right back in the middle of things. I am now up to 19 points.
Okay. Nice.
Thank you.
So I picked Josh Lowe and Juan Soto. Unfortunately, Juan Soto was the only person in my thing to homer. He only had 1, so I'm now at 22. So now this is way more of a game. 19 for Lewis, 22 for me so far this season. It's getting close. So yeah. I'm very interested to see how this goes.
Hey, as the reigning champ, I gave you a little bit of fun time, and now I'm kicking it into high drive.
Yeah, he just got lucky with the Shohei Ohtani pick. But anyway, so would you like me to pick first, or do you want to pick first?
It is your birthday. I'll let you go first.
All right. With my first pick, I'm going to go with Ronald Acuna Jr. He had 2 homers in both games of a doubleheader a couple days ago. And I don't know. I'm just feeling Ronnie. I don't even know who the Braves are playing. They're playing the Phillies. That makes it even better next week. This weekend they're playing the Rockies at home. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about Acuna.
Okay.
Feeling good about Acuna.
Okay. I like the sound of it.
Give us your pick.
So I, with my first pick, am going to go to the Toronto Blue Jays, and I'm going to take Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So this upcoming week, they play Texas and Miami, both on the road. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., all of his home runs so far have been on the road this season, so I'm hoping that he continues to keep that one up. And then, do you want to go again, or do you want me to snake around?
You could go again.
All right, and then for my National League, no real thought going into this one, just me kind of thinking about who I think could get hot right now. And I'm going to go with Michael Conforto of the San Francisco Giants. The San Francisco Giants, I believe, are playing, hang on, double checking. They're playing the Dodgers and the Padres. So Michael Conforto would need to heat up quite a bit to get a hit off of some of the pitchers in those 2 organizations, but no time like the present to get that stuff done.
Okay, I like it. So I'm between 2 for my last pick, and for pretty much the same reason. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with Giancarlo Stanton of the New York Yankees. I was between Stanton and Devers because the Red Sox, Yankees play each other this weekend.
That's true.
Stanton kills the Red Sox. Devers kills the Yankees. So it was kind of my decision boiled down to Devers kills the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Stanton kills the Red Sox at Fenway. And they're at Fenway this weekend, so I'm feeling a little Big G, Giancarlo Stanton, for my Homer draft pick.
Okay.
And I like my reasoning for it.
All right. No one's ever going to take that one from you. So you took Giancarlo Stanton and
Ronald Acuna Jr.
I went with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Michael Conforto. Best of luck.
Best of luck.
Best of luck.
All right. Moving on. Swiftly moving on. This is something that is official, and it's fun. You might not like it, but the A's have finally decided to move to Vegas.
Well, it was agreed upon.
Rather, not decided, but it's finally happening officially. The plan was approved by, I believe it was the governor of Nevada. Was it the governor of Nevada? Yeah, Nevada governor makes it official. The Oakland A's are moving to Las Vegas. MLB owners are expected to unanimously approve the relocation within the next few weeks. So the A's are going to be in Vegas, and that reverse boycott meant absolutely nothing, just as I predicted. Just, I don't know, sad times if you're an Oakland A's fan. Yeah, sad. Do you think they should rename themselves, rebrand completely? Like much as the last relocation in MLB was the Montreal Expos moving to DC and becoming the Washington Nationals.
Yeah.
So do you think they should, get rid of the Athletics name because it's the Oakland Athletics, not the Las Vegas Athletics? Let's rebrand completely, make ourselves fun and new.
So where I stand on that is there's one blatant difference between the two teams that have relocated in MLB. The Montreal Expos had not had success. They didn't have anything really to bring with them. They had no luggage, no checked bag, no nothing. When they took the trip down to DC. For the Oakland Athletics, they have a long storied history. They have the all-time leader in steals will be forever connected to the city of Oakland and the Oakland Athletics. Dennis Eckersley and their World Series titles will always be connected to the city of Oakland. So I do think that the right thing to do would be not rebranding and renaming themselves to something else that has to do with Las Vegas. I think remaining, at least saying that you're still the Athletics, just like what the Raiders did in football. There's history there. There's no reason as to why they should rebrand. They have championships that have their name on it.
But I feel like that could also be a reason to rebrand. The Athletics name is connected with the city of Oakland, not the city of Las Vegas.
Right, but there's too much history around it to get rid of it.
But at that point, it's a different team.
It.
But did we erase the Montreal Expos once they left? And how much longer have the A's been around than the Expos been around?
Right, but it's a different story because of that.
But
because there's
but that history is with Oakland, not with Vegas. Vegas is a new start.
But it's with
I understand that, but Vegas is a whole new beginning. This is a new location. This is none of that city's history, and the Oakland Athletics will always be associated with everything that happened in Oakland, and not associated with whatever happens in Vegas once they move out there. And I'm sure that I don't know how Athletics fans feel about it. I would say Athletics fans tell us. Don't know if any really exist. But if any Athletics fans are watching, let us know what you think. If I was an Athletics fan, I'd say, you know what? Yeah, change your name because we're the Oakland Athletics. There's no Las Vegas Athletics. We want to be the Oakland Athletics. We don't want to be the Las Vegas Athletics,
I understand.
That's how I would feel about it if I was an Athletics fan. That's just what I feel works the best. It's different with the Guardians. I understand why the Guardians had to change their name to the Guardians, but that doesn't mean that it just erases the history of the previous name. You know what I mean?
Right, but
and
also
they're leaving.
They didn't move.
But that's what I'm saying. This team's moving. This team's not even going to be in the city anymore. I feel like the Guardians name change it would be harder than the Athletics name change because the Guardians didn't even leave. So it's not like they're moving cities and this is a whole new team in a new location. The Athletics is a whole new team in a new location. So
it's not going to be a whole new team. It's going to be the same guys.
But that's what I'm saying.
Whenever they move.
It's the Oakland Athletics, not the Las Vegas Athletics. I don't know, that's how I would feel about it. At least leave a part of Oakland in Oakland. Don't make it.
I think that's
a Las Vegas.
I find that I would consider it if I were involved in this. I would obviously say to keep the name.
I just don't like it.
There's too much that like I said, there's too much history with it. And yes, you can be like, oh well, that's part of Oakland. You have to leave that in Oakland. Bring it with you to symbolize that you were once that. Rebrand in 20 years or whatever. Don't do it as soon as you get there. It's disrespectful. considering how much the city of Oakland has done for that team and how much they supported that team through thick and thin. It's not right to just basically throw away all of the history behind the name, and that's the last thing I'll say about that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, we've already seen that they do not care about the people of Oakland. They do not care about the city of Oakland. I saw another thing that came out yesterday that said everything about not having a plan to build a stadium in Oakland was simply false. They had like a 50-acre plan that they were going to build a stadium and surrounding buildings and homes and stuff, and they just abandoned it to get a 9-acre lot in Oakland, or rather in Vegas. So, I don't know. It's clear they don't care about the fans, and if you say that rebrand in 20 years anyway, what the fuck would be the point? Just do it now. Your new beginnings, new team. That's just my view on it. I honestly, new beginning, new team, new name, might as well. I also don't like the sound of the Las Vegas Athletics. Just doesn't sound right. And also, the colors, I feel like the colors green and yellow don't fit in Las Vegas. Like, just don't make sense to me.
Well, yellow poker chips and green money. It fits.
Doesn't make sense to me.
It fits.
Doesn't make sense to me.
And their logo is
also
an A
new
for aces.
New city, fresh start. I don't know.
You're
and I'm also
Fisher is not gonna
I'm also sick of seeing green and yellow. I'm kind of sick of it.
Oh, so this is your agenda against colors.
That's
all that this is.
Not my agenda at all.
I don't know.
Don't
about
accuse
that.
me of anything.
This sounds.
That's actually such a foul accusal.
It sounds like you're
moving on.
Green and yellow.
So, are the A's actually the worst team in baseball?
Statistically.
Statistically not. Statistically not. Statistically, the Kansas City Royals are the worst team in baseball with an 18-50 record and 265 win percentage. So,
the
Royals
Royals need to check up because Oakland has been taking this beating in the media of being called the worst team in baseball and blah 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 blah. You know, hearing it all as if the Royals are not right there with them. Like, legitimately, it's a race to the bottom, and right now the Kansas City Royals are the heavier team.
Yeah, they're the heavier team based on win percentage, but
they've also not played as many games.
No, that's not what I was gonna say. At the same time, their rankings, team rankings, are higher than the Athletics.
Yes, and
not just the Athletics. They're higher than a few teams. Like, yes, they have the worst record in baseball, but they're still 23rd in average. So 27th in OPS, 29th. The Athletics are 30th in pretty much everything of every category.
Nope. If only they had a good potential superstar infield with a couple of good outfielders.
First baseman,
yeah, good pitching. If only the Athletics had something like that.
Oh my God! But anyway, yeah, I still think it might be the Royals because at least the Athletics have had some fun this year. I have not seen the Royals have any fun this year.
The Royals are no fun.
They have been no fun. So my vote, quite honestly, goes to the Royals for being the worst team in baseball.
Yeah.
Yes, by record, obviously. Yes, by record, obviously. But even if you take out the 7-game win streak by the Athletics, I'd still say the Royals because at least the Athletics have had their moments, have some fun throughout this season. So, what is going on with the Royals is the real question because I actually thought they would be maybe a sneaky good team this year, maybe middle of the barrel, not necessarily playoffs, but not bottom of the barrel. They have been quite literally bottom of the barrel. We just found out that Vinny Pasquantino is out for the season with a torn labrum, right?
Yeah, which sucks. Vinny Pasquantino was very much on track and set up to be an amazing part of the Royals lineup. And although he had not been performing as spectacular as we could have expected, and definitely me, considering that I did put him in my top 10 going into the season, I do think that this season is something to build upon, and hopefully when he comes back fully healthy next season, we can see him, take a real big leap forward. Because this is that step back, getting injured and having to sit out the rest of the season. Now he's going to take. I want him to take that 2 steps forward next year, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play baseball again because he is a very exciting player when he is on the diamond.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, his numbers weren't what he kind of wanted, especially going off last season. He hit 295 with a 135 OPS plus. This season so far, he's hitting 247 with a 108 OPS plus. So still good numbers, but not kind of what he wanted.
Yeah.
So hopefully when he comes back, again, new start, new season, he'll kind of be there. MJ Melendez has been another letdown for the Royals. He was expected to be really good. He's hitting 221. He's just
not performing well.
Not performing well at all. Bobby Witt Jr. has played good, but not as good as his rookie season. So he has taken a little step down. Salvador Perez has really been this team's best hitter.
And then he just got injured.
No, he's good. I believe the X-rays came back negative.
Okay.
I think he's fine. Salvador Perez is putting together a pretty decent season. They said they don't want to trade him, but I quite honestly don't see why not.
It would be a very bonehead thing to not trade him.
I don't see why not.
You can definitely. There are plenty of struggling teams out there at the catcher position that have enough draft capital and enough prospects and even enough money to give to get Salvador Perez. I think the major contender for Salvi would probably be the Astros as of right now, which is absolutely crazy to say because we went through this last season with them where they went and tried to go trade for a catcher and decided not to.
Well, they got Vasquez last year.
Yeah, but they did send in an offer for Wilson Contreras that did not get accepted. So let's see if they're going to pull the trigger and get Salvador Perez this season. I think that would be the number one contender for him. Not surprise me if a team like the Marlins even picked him up because the Marlins, Jacob Stallings, has been really struggling offensively, and Salvador Perez brings one hell of a bat into a lineup that has been surprisingly good this season. I think those two teams are probably... I think those could be two of the teams that might call if the Royals change their mind.
Don't shit on the Marlins.
Not shit on them.
Surprisingly good. You kidding me? We knew they were going to be good. Always rided the boys down south.
I thought they were going to go undefeated.
So did I.
Yeah. Still undefeated in my heart.
Yeah, they've won everything. They've just let other teams win because they felt bad. So, Royals, worst team in baseball.
Do we not talk about them until they sweep?
I'm kind of down to do that.
Shake on it.
It's been shooken on. We're not talking about the team in Kansas City until they sweep a team.
Same rule for the A's.
Going back to the Marlins talk.
Oh well, this is just
NL East.
Podcasting. NL East, yes.
What are you saying?
The NL East.
No.
There was a long silence.
What are you saying? What are you saying? Get out of here. Get out of here.
There was a
So the NL East.
Pause.
The NL East has been very fun recently. The Mets have completely tanked themselves. They are 10.5 games out of first place now. The Braves don't seem to be slowing down. They've won 8 out of their last 10. 3 in a row. They're 43-26. The Marlins have been surprisingly good. Like we just said, they've been exceeding expectations. They are 7 games over 500 at 38-31. They're 5 games back of first place. They're up in the wild card spot. And the Phillies, who started off really, really bad, have very much picked it up as of late, and they have officially reached over 500. Good job on the Phillies. I know you wanted to talk a little bit about that, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the Phillies finally they cracked the barrier. They are now over 500 for, let me double check here before I get this wrong. For the first time since earlier this season when they sat above 500 for a few days before falling back below. I believe the last time they were at 500 was May 14th. And then they kind of tapered off a lot, but now they're back. Almost about a month later, they are back above 500, and I think that, especially with the addition of Bryce Harper, and now learning a couple of new things about the team and seeing how they want to manage a bullpen that we looked at as pretty stacked, I think that this might be the last time that we're talking about them just cracking the 500 barrier. I think it's all up from here for the Phillies.
Oh, I agree. Well, that I might not agree with, but
I agree, actually.
Well, no, I'm just thinking about it more. I don't know if I would necessarily say I think that they won't fall back down below 500 because the Phillies, they've always been it. Last year, they were the same way. They are one of the most streaky teams in baseball. When they're hot, they're hot. When they're cold, they're cold. Then there's no in between.
Sometimes they're hot and they're cold. They're yes, then they're no. They're an interesting team. It's hard to watch them and accurately predict what's going on with them. But I think right now is a good time to say that I don't think that there's any turning it around for them, turning it back for them.
I mean, I want to agree, but let them get, once they get 5 games over 500, maybe I'll agree with you. I want to see them, actually get comfortably above 500 first. Because there are a couple teams where I can say, once they get over 500, they ain't going back down. There's just no shot. But this team is not one of them, so I want to see them get a little bit comfortably over 500 before I can say that. Trey Turner has turned it around as of late. In his last 13 games, he's batting .321 with an almost 900 OPS. Love that. Good turnaround for Trey.
Yeah. It's exactly what this Philly team needs.
Yeah, hopefully he can keep it up because he is, like we said before the season started, he's supposed to be their average guy.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the guy that gets on base all the time. Not to mention Nick Castellanos is batting .316 this year with 8 homers and 4 steals. JT Realmuto has 10 stolen bases. How that happened, I have no idea. Bryson Stott has 10 steals.
And Bryson Stott has been
going well.
Very, very good at the plate.
Oh, yeah, he's batting 300.
300 average.
301. Yeah.
Average is amazing, and it really does help pick up for guys who are having a slow start to the season, such as Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner, who we really both expected to be dead in the thick of being considered for the best batters at their position. And now we're seeing them really struggle, but with certain guys picking it up as of lately, especially JT Realmuto and Bryson Stott, Bryce Harper coming back and looking good, Nick Castellanos and Brandon Marsh playing at just an amazing level. It's helping that offense really continue to move, continue to chug, and continuing to move the chains. And they showed that with their series against the Diamondbacks that they just wrapped up, where I believe they dropped, the first game? Yeah, they dropped the first game and then won the series by winning the next 3, all convincingly in different ways. The second day, they won with their bats, winning 15-3. The next 2 days, they won 1-run games because their pitching was locked down, shut down, and helped them out in the later game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very shocked that they wound up winning that series against the Diamondbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of, after game 1, I was like, all right, Diamondbacks going to roll through them. Same old. But then, like you said, their pitching did kind of step it up, especially in the late game. Don't get me wrong, Craig Kimbrell did have 3 pitch clock violations last night on 5 pitches. But they definitely put it together. And I'm actually really proud of their starting pitching. Their starting pitching has been decent, too, as of recent. Ranger Suarez came back not too long ago, and he's been really good in his last few starts.
Yeah.
So, always looking up for the Phillies.
Could not agree more.
And I'm excited to see how it goes because this NL East is certainly not going to be easy if they want to legitimately come back and make a run for first place. They're 8 games back right now, 1.5 games out of the wild card. So, they're going to play the Athletics this weekend in Oakland. Let's see what they can do.
I think it's difficult to say they can win the division, especially with having to conquer not only the Braves, which they did last year in the postseason, but still the Braves have been a bandwagon and an absolutely amazing team, but also having to get over the Marlins, which they have been very good as well. So figuring that all out and trying to, maneuver the way around how the Phillies get into the playoffs, I think the only way is through a wild card.
Winning games.
winning games, but I don't think that they're going to contest for the division.
Neither do I. I think it's going to be similar to last year if they get in. You know, they might be the last seed, but then they could get hot in the playoffs and make a run. Yeah. So we'll see. Only time will tell. Yes. Do you have anything else?
That's it for me.
All right, that's it for me as well. We thank you guys for watching, listening, viewing, subscribing. If you liked, make sure to leave a like, comment, share. Help us out. We love you guys. And we will see you tomorrow in the next one. Peace. Throwing the baseball. Throwing a splitter. Throwing a splitter. I'm throwing a splitter.